The fervor surrounding 20-year-old Filipina tennis sensation Alex Yala has turned Melbourne Park into a pressure cooker of unprecedented intensity. We are crossing live to Ollie Hag, stationed in Garden Square tonight. Ollie, pause the commentary. Forget the highlights, the post-match platitudes, and the tactical breakdowns. Step away from the courtside buzz and enter the clinical, climate-controlled reality of a corporate boardroom. This isn't a conversation about sport, it is a cold, hard analysis of leverage, fiscal stability, and the high-stakes gamble of commercial viability. The Women's Tennis Association is currently confronting a dilemma that remains unspoken in polite circles. What happens when your entire commercial ecosystem, your broadcast premiums, your social media reach, and your cultural relevance becomes anchored to the trajectory of a single individual? By daybreak, sports media will package this as a success story, highlighting the depth of the field, the growth of the tour, and the general health of the sport. They will paint a picture of stability and expansion. However, behind the closed doors of executive offices, the tone is markedly more guarded. Professional tennis thrives not on the purity of the game, but on the strength of broadcast rights and multi-million-dollar sponsorships. Global entities, banks, airlines, luxury brands do not commit massive capital because of an athlete's backhand. They commit because they are purchasing reach and a guaranteed, high-octane spectacle. Sponsors demand predictability. They want to ensure that when a camera sweeps across a primetime quarterfinal, it catches a roaring, sold-out crowd, providing a vibrant backdrop to their corporate branding. Yet, there is a quiet, persistent anxiety lurking beneath the surface of the professional tour, the phenomenon of the hollow arena. You can construct a state-of-the-art stadium and offer substantial prize money, but if the stands are sparsely populated, the televised product falters. Visuals are currency, and for years, the industry has struggled with the optics of empty seats. Then, the landscape shifted. A young star emerged, winning with a gritty, relentless baseline style that resonated deeply with the public. But it was the atmospheric shift that truly mattered. When Alexandra Ayala competed, the venue pulsated with life. The quiet, reserved atmosphere of traditional tennis was replaced by the deafening chants and frantic energy of a football stadium. Merchandise flew off the shelves, digital engagement hit record highs, and broadcast ratings in Asian markets skyrocketed. Executives initially celebrated, they had found their lightning in a bottle. Her presence ensured the product looked essential, vibrant, and, most importantly, profitable. However, a dangerous business reality has emerged, the problem of single-point dependency. When an entire system relies on one anchor, the structure becomes brittle. Data from recent tournaments shows a distinct pattern. When Yala competes, the facility is at capacity. But the moment she is eliminated, the vitality drains from the event. It is not a gradual decline, it is an exodus. Concession lines vanish, and sections that were moments ago packed with fans fall into shadow. Sponsors are not just paying for the peak, they are paying for the entire session. When the atmosphere dissipates the moment a specific player exits, it raises a fundamental question about the tour's diversification. Is the audience there for the sport, or is it there for a singular icon? This creates an intense strategic anxiety. Global tours are designed on the premise that rivalries and top-tier talent can sustain primetime interest regardless of who makes the final. But when fan passion becomes hyper-focused on one person, the model falters. The Yala Army is an authentic, powerful cultural force, but from an investment standpoint, this emotional volatility is a liability. If a star loses a tight match, the fan base disperses, leaving the remaining matches to play out in a vacuum. Executives face a brutal choice: capitalize on the specific star power and risk total dependency, or attempt to redistribute the spotlight and risk alienating the very fans who provide the current surge in engagement. Both narratives are true. Ayala's rise has brought vital energy to previously underutilized markets, yet this concentrated focus creates a precarious engagement cliff for other matches. The tour's primary challenge is not merely managing her success, but scaling it into a sustainable, multifaceted product. Professional sports rely on consistent, reliable demand, not just viral spikes. Recently, Jessica Pegula echoed these sentiments, moving beyond the game itself to address the business realities that loom over the tour. Put yourself in the position of a broadcast producer during a semifinal. You have sold the inventory, the advertisers are expecting a massive global audience, and you call for a wide shot of the stadium only to see rows of vacant seats. It is an immediate crisis. The director demands tighter shots to hide the emptiness, the audio team struggles to mask the hollow acoustics of a quiet arena. This is not just a scheduling inconvenience, it is a fiscal threat. Sponsors are hyper-aware of these metrics. If the Yalla effect is the only thing driving the valuation of the broadcast, the entire model is vulnerable to an early round upset or an injury. This creates a difficult burden for a 20-year-old athlete. She is no longer just a tennis player, she is the literal foundation of the tour's financial health. If her presence is the only thing keeping the lights on, the pressure to maintain that status is crushing. We must ask the fans, is the loyalty to the sport, or is it exclusively to one player? If the sport is to evolve, it needs to convert this temporary fascination into a broader appreciation for the tour. The goal should not be to suppress the passion, but to elevate the entire field. The current imbalance is a warning sign. If the tennis world can use this moment of instability to build more compelling, layered narratives, it can transform a fragile, singular dependency into a resilient and thriving ecosystem. This is not just about match scores, it is about the future of a multi-billion-dollar industry where the atmosphere is the most valuable commodity of all. We must decide if this is a flash in the pan or the beginning of a truly sustainable evolution. The question remains, can the sport survive when the primary draw is sidelined, or will the boardrooms continue to panic every time the crowd starts to thin? The answer will define the next generation of professional tennis. Does this focus on a single star's impact on the sport's business model change how you view the pressures placed on young athletes today?